Welcome back to beautiful downtown Kennesaw, everyone. It is the first day of the Big Shanty Festival. Some of you might remember this from last year. Last year they had the parade come right by the tent. This year they kept it down there at the intersection, so didn't get any video of the marching bands this year. Sorry. But hey, I did it. I got out here on time, despite driving pretty much the entire night. Because I stayed in Tennessee to declutter the camper, which took me a while. But I didn't want to get pulled over again for having the camper loaded down and not being able to go over 45 miles an hour, the minimum speed limit.
What's up, man? How you doing, man?
Hey, what's up?
I pulled you over because you're going slow.
Because I'm going slow?
Yeah, you're going slow. There's like a minimum speed limit law. When I passed you, you was going super slow, and I measured speed at 44. Okay, there's a minimum speed law in South Carolina, it's 45.
Yeah, so I stayed long enough to get it all decluttered and get some of the weight out of it, then headed out to Austell, where the campground is, and pretty much I would drive like 2 hours and then stop and take a 15-minute nap, you know, because I felt myself getting sleepy. Did that all the way, and then got settled into the campground and got about an hour and a half of sleep, and then came out here and got all set up and ready to go before 10 o'clock, before opening time. So I'm proud of myself on that. And we got a nice setup going on. This festival is a no electricity festival. But normally this is a nice enough weather weekend that you don't really need the fans. And everything closes at like 6, so you don't need the lights. So it's a nice, breezy spring festival. And so I'm going to try to push past the weariness and make the best out of this day. Wish me luck. Some of you might remember that last year this festival was cut in half because Sunday, the second day, was so rainy. So they actually made a good call, I think, on that one, cutting it in half. But unfortunately this year the forecast is calling for the same thing to happen again. Hopefully though, it will beat our expectations like what happened at Swamp Festival. 80% chance of rain both days, and then had a good time anyway. The Grand Pyrenees is back. I don't know if I highlighted them last year, but I think this is my third time drawing.
Posted it last time.
Did I? Okay. So you guys, if y'all are long-time subscribers, you might remember the Grand Pyrenees from last year. Once again. We are at 6 o'clock now, and I cannot complain. This was a very busy day, one right after the other. Take a look at the all of the tear-offs right there. Used a lot of paper. That means a lot of drawings, a lot of cells. With this festival's track record of, for the past 2 years, getting cut in half because of thunderstorms coming in on the second day, this year a lot of vendors are preemptively packing up and leaving here at the end of Saturday. And you can see all of these trailers down here parked in front of booths. Those are booths that are packing up and leaving. And so I'm not going to do that. I'm hoping for the best, hoping that it doesn't turn out to be that bad. I got the tent lowered as far down as it can go with sandbags hanging from every corner, and then also from the middle, and then all the pool noodles up here in the corners, and that has proven in the past to help, at least help, to prevent water pockets from forming in the corners. This method proved really effective against those really bad wind gusts in Live Oak this year. So hopefully when I come in tomorrow, this will all still be here. They got us a nice vendor parking area dedicated to the vendor parking area, and look at how this is just kind of tucked out of the way with lots of trees and grass. And then once again, just around the corner, there is a couple of vendors with motorhomes staying in the vendor parking area completely free, just using, I guess, backup batteries and generators. There's my truck right there. I have a generator, I've got a camper, one day, I'm gonna stop talking about this and actually get up the nerve to try and do it. You know, I actually did it once. I did it once at the Strawberry Festival in Dade, Tennessee. Mother's Day weekend, Strawberry Festival. And the vendor parking area actually had a socket, a plug-in socket. And I slipped them an extra $50 and they let me plug in and stay there for like 3 nights for $50, which was a really good deal. So I mean, things like this work out, you know. They have a tendency to work out if you've got the nerve to step out and try it. So I need to do that. It would definitely save me some money. And here is the campground that I checked into late last night before I collapsed for like an hour and then went on to work. How am I still standing? As you can see though, this is a no-frills campground, but it was cheap at only $25 a night, which is actually more than I paid for in Orlando. But this is the middle of the Atlanta metro area, so this is about as good as you're gonna do. It was $25 a night. It's quiet. It's only 30 minutes down back roads to the Big Shanty Festival location, and the shower works. So for a working style trip to Atlanta, I could definitely recommend this place. It is called Atlanta West Campgrounds, and they even have a night drop box, so somebody does not have to be in the office for you to pay for your spot, which is also a very nice thing. Now, if you do call them in their business hours, they will answer the phone, and they will write down your name and say that they're reserving you a spot, but I don't know exactly how necessary that is, seeing as that around me in eyesight I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots just from where I'm standing that is open, so chances are they will have an available spot for you. So, Atlanta West Campgrounds. It's about 10:30 in the morning now the next day, and as you can hear, the rain is hitting the top of the camper. Sounds like there's a lot of it. But wow, I think I slept like 10 hours last night. Finally got me some sleep. Whew. Something else happened yesterday morning too that got me a little confused, actually a little worried too. My carbon monoxide detector went off early in the morning, right as I was about to leave out to the festival, and I'm like, why is it going off? There's no heaters plugged in. There was really the only thing that was plugged in and running was the air conditioner, which does the opposite of produce carbon monoxide. All it does is like pump in fresh air. I was, what? I've had this thing go off before when I'm just sitting there playing video games and it just goes off. And I've got ventilation here, the pet door. I've got a couple of other little portal ventilation areas. The air conditioner is constantly circulating the air. I'm like, what? Why is this thing going off? It's got to be a mistake. So normally what I would just do is just take it off of its mount there on the ceiling and take it out and just kind of get some fresh air into it and it'll stop. But this time it would not stop. I ended up just taking it into the truck with me, and as I'm driving to the festival grounds, holding it out the window, hoping that that airflow is going to somehow reset that sensor and it will shut up. But it would not. It would not shut up. I got to looking at the back of it, and it turns out to deactivate it, to get it to disengage the battery entirely, you have to break away the tab and move the switch down. But after you do that, this whole detector is completely useless. It cannot be reactivated. It has to be replaced. And this thing cost me like 50 bucks. But at this point, I really had no choice. I had to do it. So I broke that away, moved the switch down, it finally shut up, and now I've got this expensive plastic chunk of uselessness. And so I went to Home Depot and got one of these. This one is even more expensive at $60, but it has a 10-year battery, internal battery, and it's a combination of smoke and a carbon monoxide detector. And this time, it's actually got a voice alarm. The voice will say, warning smoke or warning carbon monoxide, so there's no wondering which one it is. Also, it has a more advanced detector, so it even says right here in the back, to help reduce the occurrence of nuisance alarms. Now that phrase right there, nuisance alarms, lets me know that I am probably not the only one that has had trouble with these alarms going off for apparently no reason at all. There has been other people that have complained about nuisance alarms. Nuisance. Okay, so this one's a little bit thicker, but I'm going to mount this one to the ceiling and hopefully it will not go off. And if it does, if this one starts going off, I believe I will know for absolute certain there is a problem in the camper with carbon monoxide. So let's get this mounted to the ceiling. That ought to do it. Well, it's about 2:30 now, and I'm out here set up. I say set up, I never even put up the sign because I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to tear it all back down. The rain stopped. The sun is out. It's a nice, pretty overcast day. But take a look at the festival. Yeah, that's what's left of it. A lot of people just preemptively shut down last night, and then this morning apparently there was an email sent out saying that the second day was canceled. I didn't know that. I don't check my email very much, and so I came out, got set up, actually sold a couple of drawings. But look at this. The last 2 years, when they canceled the second day of the Big Shanty Festival, I kind of understood, because it was raining and lightning and it needed to be shut down. But this year they jumped the gun and preemptively shut down a pretty day, a nice overcast day, completely wasted because they preemptively shut it down. I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed this time. And they're not going to give us any kind of partial refund at all, either. And we lost money. We lost money because of this. I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed. Looks like I don't have much of a choice. I thought I would hang around for a little while because there are some people that are just kind of walking around. But I'm going to have to go ahead and shut it down and pack up. Man. Well, disappointingly, it is now time to get all of this into here. And just like that, we are done. And that pretty much does it for the Kennesaw Big Shanty Festival 2019. So, in conclusion, would I do this one again? Yes, I probably would. Partly because it puts me right in the northwest side of the Atlanta metro area, right out here with all this fun stuff to do, and where I can go see my older brother and my younger brother, and all this stuff that you guys are going to be able to see in the next few videos. Also, even just having that first day, it was profitable. Not as profitable as I would like, but profitable enough to come back and do it again. Also, the first year that I did this 4 years ago, this show really proved what it was capable of when we have both days. Now, I have an inkling that they didn't shut this down on the second day just because of the forecast. I think so many vendors preemptively packed up last night that the organizers probably walked out here, looked around and said, 2/3 of our vendors are just gone. It would just look tacky for us to open. So they just shut it down partly because of that. Now, it was their decision ultimately, but I think it was also partly the fault of the vendors just leaving. So I will try it again next year. If you guys like this video, please don't hesitate to indicate so by hitting that thumbs up like button. Leave something down in the comments. Subscribe. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And hit that bell icon to turn on post notifications. And like I said, we're right out here in the Atlanta metro area with a few days to kill, so I'm going to be doing some fun stuff you guys requested. In the last Toon Squad, y'all requested to see the inside of the Civil War Museum of Locomotive History, so we are going to do that. And some other stuff that I just kind of get a whim to go do. So stick around for that, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.